Hi, I'm the co-leader of Portland Rocketry, and this is a video about the forces of rockets. You see, forces are vector quantities, and they have both a magnitude and a direction. When it comes to a flying rocket, there are four main forces that affect its flight: weight, thrust, aerodynamic forces, and lift and drag. Weight is a force I'm sure you're all familiar with. Unless you're watching this video in space, that is.
What did you say?
Despite our familiarity with weight, it's actually rather different than the other forces, because the other forces are mechanical forces, which means that the rocket has to be in physical contact with the gases which generate these forces. Gravitational force, on the other hand, is a field force, and it does not have to be in contact with the source, because it's the Earth. Thrust is the force that moves the rocket through the air and through space. Thrust is generated by a propulsion system, be it motor, gunpowder, or swiftly deflating balloon. Thrust is often used with the application of Newton's third law, which, as quoted in Hamilton, is that every action has its equal and opposite reaction. In our case, we use something called working fluid, which accelerates through the propulsion system. The reaction of the acceleration of the working fluid produces the thrust force on the engine. This working fluid is expelled through the engine in one direction, and the thrust force is applied to the engine in the opposite direction. This, in turn, as you may guess, makes the rocket move. Next, there's aerodynamic force, which is generated and acted on the rocket as it flies through the air. We mentioned before that forces are vector quantities and have both a magnitude and a direction, while the magnitude of the aerodynamic force depends on the shape, size, and velocity of the rocket, along with some properties of the air it's flying through. And this directly connects to the drag and the lift. Conventionally, aerodynamic force is broken into two components: the drag force, which is opposed to the direction of the motion, and the lift force, which acts perpendicular to the direction of the motion. Lift and drag are why we have to pay so much attention to the center of pressure, which is the average location of the aerodynamic force on an object. Weight, thrust, and aerodynamics / lift and drag. Those are the main four forces of a flying rocket. Well, I'm done talking. Thanks for watching, and please make sure to check out some of our other videos where my teammates explain even cooler concepts than just four forces on a rocket. Yeah, honestly, mine is pretty simple in comparison.